Welcome back to another episode of the DWD's Trapcast. This is like episode 30, I think. I don't know though. We're getting close. But yeah, let's introduce the room.
We got Dre here.
And then Connor. And Keegan.
Kaylee and Bryce.
Alright, there we go. So let's talk about we're still here. No World War III's happened yet. We keep talking about that on the podcast. What made me want to talk about this, because I keep seeing this stuff and this is interesting. Right now, Russia's looking towards China because all their banks, like Visa and MasterCard, don't.
I heard something about that. What was going on?
They basically just like cut off all Russian ties. You know what I mean? Lots of companies are doing that. Like,
dang, they're taking the big go.
Lots of like companies, and like you see the smaller ones, and it's like, you know, like Microsoft, and then like PlayStation or Sony. Like they not only in the PlayStation, Xbox side, but like computer side. You know what I mean? Microsoft is no longer like.
We weren't able to get Russian vodka at work for the bomb.
Huh.
Exactly, like shit like that. Like the
sanctions
are real because like you know, there's no
now.
more importing or exporting. So once this like Russian stuff is gone, it's not going to come back for like, you know what I mean. Obviously, once there's peace again, but like that's the type of shit that'll take a couple.
Well, not necessarily even like you're right. Once there is peace, they wouldn't want to double down on being like, oh well, fuck you guys, and then
they're definitely gonna
they
have
won't
to
pull a North
impose
Korea
taxes more than likely. But like, that's crazy. Just to like imagine you're the Russians or not, you know what I mean, living there and just getting fucked because everything you try to use, they're like, nah, go fuck you guys yourselves. Like, there's this major news outlet I was watching or like reading about in Russia that they're standing up to political leaders there because they've been getting told to censor a lot of the war. You know what I mean? And censor it in a way, obviously, that makes Russia look favorable, not to show the bombings. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. To show, you know what I mean? But what people call needless violence type of deal, which of course looks horrific. You know what I mean? No one wants to watch villages of people getting bombed.
Yeah.
But so like I always hear that they're on their third rounds of talks right now of peace and shit. But I don't understand
why are we doing it so fast, but we're still going so violent?
There's so much still going on, but they're like, they're talking right now as like 6 more villages are getting bombed.
That's what I'm saying.
Russia's surrounding them on all sides. Like, I don't think this is gonna end with them being
it's like Hitler. Good. We learned in history how Hitler went ahead and was like, he was asked by the UN, right? That was at the time. They were like, hey, don't do that. And he was like, okay, well, it was just for this. And then they're like, hey, don't do that. He was like, okay, it was just for that. But they didn't fucking do anything about it. Which I get, like, they're not supposed to.
That's the thing, is that, like,
or whatever, but
at this point, I don't know. I don't think this is a test by any means. I don't think, like, he's on his path for world domination at this point, like Putin.
I don't think you're right. But when I said Hitler, I just meant the fact that...
No, I know what you mean, though, because it's definitely along that line, like...
We're talking about peace, but
so
people are still getting killed while we're talking about peace. They
absorb Ukraine back into the, you know what I mean, into what? The new USSR, whatever they're going to try to say this shit is. It's like he's already making attacks or like threats against like Finland and Norway and other countries if they try to come against.
If any other regional places like go to give any sort of aid.
Well, Sweden has broke their
500 year. It was longer than that. Like, as a nation, as far back as like they can go, basically, they were fucking as peaceful as can be. It's just,
I just walked by the mic and like grunted. So
I hope you hear him.
Yeah, shout out Roy.
We didn't announce him. That's
he was announcing himself. I packed this a little too tight, so it's smoking weird. But I don't know. Do you guys think this war will be done? The war done by the end of this year?
Well, I feel like Russia's digging a big hole for themselves, and I just saw something on the news that's brought up that they had their.
Well, that's what I was trying to say. Okay, so there's peace talks, right? They just everyone stops what they're doing now and goes home. Or are we just gonna call it that? You know what I mean? I don't think so, bro. You got Ukraine literally handing prisoners AKs just to guard the fucking front doors. You know, they're not gonna just be like, okay, yeah, we're back to being good now.
The news that I was watching was bringing up how back in September, Putin agreed to never use nuclear bombs, But like
Well,
at the same time, I just saw like right before you guys came over that they're experimenting with atomic bombs now.
that's what I'm saying. Like, people don't realize this. This is a big part of why, like, the U.S. has not necessarily a need to involve, but like when Ukraine became a sovereign thing from the USSR, like became its own independent country, the United States and the USSR divided up Ukraine's nuclear weapons and a thing of like, you guys cannot invade us. If we get invaded, you guys will protect us, USSR and Ukraine or the United States. And we took the nukes, and then USSR or Russia then turned around and just invaded them. So it's like, we're sitting there. If we didn't take the nukes, if Russia didn't take their nukes, they wouldn't have gotten invaded. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so they're over here like, what the fuck, guys? And we're like, hey, it wasn't us. Like, it's just a mess of bunch of bullshit. Like, you know, like, what do we do? But I don't know. I don't think it will be done by the end of this year, but I don't think it's going to be a war. I feel like it's going to be more and more on a Cold Wars type of shit.
Maybe like actual war might be done by this
Right.
year, but like the economic effect is going to be like there for.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
oh, I'm sure there's going to be certain countries that are so allied with Ukraine that they won't trade with Russia even after it's like cleared. Like they'll have some spiteful shit, like, which is fair in my opinion. Like if that's your homie and these people went ahead and did the shit they're doing, like,
and it's weird to say, like, okay, this is almost going to breed another generation of hatred towards the Russians.
Bro, I was thinking about it and I was like, so I literally
we're just getting to the point where like
Red Fear was a joke. That's what I was telling Hunter the other day. I jinxed the fucking Russian war now. I'm sorry guys, but I was talking to here. You hit. I was talking to Hunter the other day about how I didn't like our history teacher in high school because
definitely
biased and like,
and if you can tell,
had the generational like red fear. Like he talked like communism was still a worldwide problem that could affect America because it spreads and eventually will become communist.
The problem with that teacher, I'm not going to say his name obviously, is that since he teaches that way, I found it to be good just because like I'm smart enough to recognize different points of view. I'm smart enough that's a point of view like his side that I don't necessarily like, you know, grow up off of, if to say, but like, well, it's interesting getting insight on that. But then you got the people where like, you got to remember he's an educator. He's imposing these type of beliefs. You know what I mean? And it's feeding into the arrogance and ignorance of the small town community that grew up.
That belief was so strong in his, like the Red Scare, like communism was the worst thing ever, was so strong in his that like, I don't know. It's kind of crazy that like that sort of thing is part of his curriculum.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But then you got to also remember though, like it was very much a part of his lifetime. You know what I mean? If like we spend the next 2 years or whatever having bomb drills, nuke drills, just because of having to live with,
like they did in the fucking back
like,
when it was a big thing. In the
they're like,
war.
yo, literally, we got North Korea, we got China, we got Russia. They're the new Axis power. They don't give a fuck what we care. You know what I mean? They're all ready to bomb us at any moment. Like, of course we would start living like that shit and like have a type of fear, and it sucked because with that's the enemy, you know what I mean? It's gonna breed all sorts of prejudice, unfortunately. But
yeah. No, I was thinking about it though, because after I made the joke about how there was Russian people at Chestnut that I was talking about earlier, I thought about it. I'm like, I wonder if there was anybody at the resort. Probably not, but there's a possibility
actually
that heard those fucking people and thought, I wonder, like,
right?
Are these people bad people?
They're calling Homeland Security real quick.
Yeah, are these Russian spies? Well, we just watched. Spoiler alert: we're not going to go into it, but me and Bryce just finished Umbrella Academy.
Oh, so good!
And in season 2, there's a lot of like Russian Red Scare themes because of the time period that it takes place in, and I guess it's just so crazy because the FBI and like the country was so set on finding out like if there's Russian spies, like, and if you are a Russian spy or they think you are, they just like torture you and like.
Well, see, that's the thing is that
they were just finding out about acid. They were using
Russia
that and the
always
MK Ultra
had
and all that shit.
A good like Soviet spec up. You know what I mean? Like,
I mean, yeah,
their intelligence agency.
If you're a spy in a movie, you're Russian.
Like that's true though.
Like, so that's how good their shit is. Cause
Red Sparrow.
Like the KGB ain't no fucking joke, and you got the lead or
The leader
ex-KGB
is
as
from
a fucking
the president of their country is
like it makes
ex
sense.
Secret Service.
So like it being
That's pretty baller. If
and
we're
you
being
gotta,
honest.
like,
but.
it's funny because the United States takes the approach of like they're so dangerous, and then they're like, but at the same point, we use everyone's phone as a recording device and listen down conversations and like keyword. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you gotta like see that they have their power too, but
Yeah, literally the other day we were talking to to somebody about something, and it was about how like if you Google certain things, you're gonna get put on a watch list,
and
like
the,
so there's
what
the
is
privacy.
it, the anarchist book or whatever, that book that's illegal to own. If you look up the PDF of it, you automatically get put to a list.
Huh.
I forget what it. I think it's called the Anarchist Cookbook or something. And it's like something that teaches you like
I've heard people use it in bars. So
like you can make napalm. Like it has the recipe for
Well, I
napalm
mean,
for manure bombs.
I don't know how long you're on these lists,
Right.
but personally, I remember on iFunny, if you got to a certain part of iFunny, there was a lot of like anarchist survival shit
right there, bro.
Like,
4chan, I don't know.
well, exactly.
That's
what
what
I'm saying.
That's
they,
what
they came from.
QAnon used before.
They used. Well, no, I'm not saying that.
QAnon is from 4chan, and then 8chan when he got banned from 4chan.
4chan and like those types of apps, everybody always says, like one of the people's biggest things against iFunny is that it's just reposting from other apps, right? And that's almost anything now. Fuck memes anymore, but
yeah, it's hard to find
original content.
some original source.
But now
That's why NFTs are a thing.
What?
Yeah, whatever.
That's why NFTs are a thing.
That's why that's one of the things people are saying they started them for.
Just memes,
they
fresh
were
memes.
original.
No,
Fresh
but
memes that
when you think
come
about it, like that's what like got people like the subconscious like to like
Yes.
gather. That's like
Well, it's just art.
No, you're right. It's memes that you can flex. Like, that's what-
like watermarks and shit. Fucking NFTs. Same idea.
The nerve, by the way, of iFunny to have a watermark at the bottom.
I know, right?
When
It's
all their shit is
bullshit,
stolen.
right? Like that
But
is
no.
some bullshit. Do they have a iFunny Plus now or anything?
Do they have a premium?
I could guarantee that
Damn,
would
that's
just
crazy.
because they have crazy ads in the first place. I could imagine them having an ad free. And you know what I hate? All these ad free things that are only like $5 a month for ad free. It's like, go fuck yourself. I'm not paying $5 a month for this dumbass ad for no other reason. Like when my weather app tried to get me to pay $10 a month, I was like, you can go fuck yourself.
What else do you get? More accurate? Like,
Dude. Nah, see the one I would talk about is the weather channel, that one.
Yeah.
Because that's the one I mainly use because the weather app that's like the stock iPhone weather app sucks dick. And they use sources that are from the weather channel anyways, but it's just less frequent. They update theirs every 6 hours versus 3. So the weather channel is more accurate. But so like if you want to look at the radar, but it's more than 24 hours, then it's the premium. If you want some bullshit too. I don't even fucking remember. No ads and fucking. I'm just like, no, I'm not paying for a weather subscription. This is ridiculous.
So yeah, this used to
I
be
don't
on.
even look up the weather.
This used to be on Channel 6, and
Right.
it used to be free, and it used to
Right.
happen 8 times a day. Like, no, fucking. What I was gonna say though about iFunny was that like, I will admit to because it happened, and I remember it vaguely, and I thought about it the other day when we were talking about how they, with the Patriot Act or whatever the fuck, they can look at all our shit that we search up.
Mm-hmm.
And I get it. Less privacy for more security, but where's the line drawn is the whole thing, I guess. But I remember having iFunny on my phone, so I would have been like fucking 16, 17, 15, somewhere in high school. And I guess I would have even had it on my tablet. So, I mean, like anywhere from middle school to high school. And I remember there was like a post from a screenshot of the dark web or some shit that was like how to make this, how to make that, all these different weapons and shit, like homemade, all these different explosives. And it's like, damn, as a 16-year-old, if I literally came across it randomly. I just remember like saving it and sharing it to somebody because it was interesting. But like,
no, yeah, fucking iFunny had the weird shit. Too.
Yeah,
there was lots of shit I remember
as a 15, 16-year-old or whatever. Like, if I was fucked up, I would have just randomly come across the way to make a bomb.
Mhm.
Like,
right? Fuck 4chan, fuck 8chan, fuck all those. I don't do that anymore. Just because, like, there are some funny shit and, like, it's just forums, you know what I mean? There are lots of. The 4chan Pokemon board's actually really good still, but, like, that's ruined with hentai, so that's annoying. But other than that.
because it's one of the only sites anymore that allows porn still. Like,
that's one thing that's just a problem with 4chan in general is big ass amounts of porn. And like
exactly.
You know,
if they would have done the,
and I
is
always,
it Tumblr now
it's
that doesn't
creepy.
have porn, or is it Reddit? One of them.
Tumblr doesn't.
Yeah. So like, if they just pulled that, then all of a sudden they'd get a better fan base, user base.
But they know what they're there for. You know what I mean? Like, dude, they're. So do you know what Tor is? Tor is a very
router.
It's a very common and most well known. It's like
It's the closest way to get to the black web for most people.
Yeah. So what Tor is? It's just a browser, but it's a packaged browser with preset VPNs and preset settings and preset shit.
It's
meant for anyone who's like stupid to use. And then Tor basically completely masked. Like if you're using Tor as your browser, you're completely 100% safe from doing almost anything. Like you know,
and you're probably a degenerate.
If you're doing any sort of web cybersecurity crime or anything like that, you're buying fucking people on for what does that couch website cost? Wayfair.
IKEA, what?
Where they were selling people off of allegedly. Don't come from Wayfair. Don't sell me. But like, if you're doing that shit, you would definitely be on Tor.
It made me nervous because that's where my bed.
You're like, what if I buy this bed and a person comes up to the door?
Or my
you cut the
blanket
open, make sure no remains were inside. It's not subordinates to the dead bodies underground getting sold to Epstein's Island.
My grandma ordered it, not me. But when I saw it was from Wayfair, I was like, oh, god damn it.
I had never even heard of Wayfair until that happened.
See, I had
because I almost bought my loft bed.
The thing that I hate about that story is at least back then, I'd have to look into it now. Let's see if there should be a documentary about that because there was so much shit that was like misinformation.
Everybody was just sharing shit, trying to get on the wave.
Exactly, but like it seemed like there were some legit weird occurrences on there, though. You know what I mean? And that shit when people just say, "Oh, look at this," and some fake shit, obviously, you know, like photoshopped of the kid's name and stuff in the description. And it's just like, well, that's kind of muddying what's actually going on. You know what I mean? Like, there could have been this groundbreaking story, but it got hidden in the fake shit just to try to sell it. Meanwhile, people are still missing their... You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck's going on? But what were we even saying about Tor and what we were talking about?
I don't know why you brought it up. But it's the black web, I think, is why you were... Like, you could find how to make... like crazy shit.
I remember.
People could buy bodies.
I remember because 4chan would.
The first suicide I ever watched on camera.
Let's not talk about all this shit.
There'd be some threads that'd be Tor check, and I'd like, bro, and it would just be leaks, and it would be no, absolutely not. I would be insane to click that shit. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I do.
Like, dude, okay, so check this out. I'll say this. So this was not me, but friends of mine.
If you have to say I'll say this twice, you already know it's gonna be good.
Oh, it was one of the times it was on this, and a friend of mine was doing it, and he told me about it later. It was no involvement, but gosh, I wish I could remember how much it was. But okay, so one of those Tor checks, he had clicked one of the links. The first link he clicked just brought him to the Rick Astley, the Rick roll.
So is it basically just like when you hit random page on Wikipedia?
No, it was people posting these links, but most of them were either masked through Bitly.
So
you would click this link.
Okay, so it is masked. So at least like it is basically random.
Yep, and so like you don't know what the link's going to. But they put it to what it's going. You know what I mean? So like one of them he clicked, it was for this Rick Astley. I was okay. This other one was awful. It was this GIF of someone literally getting their head decapitated, but like one of the most brutal things I've ever seen in my entire life. I was like, that's disgusting.
Have you ever seen someone like in real life, not you there, but have you ever seen a recording, but from real life of someone getting their head chopped off?
It's so disturbing.
I have, yeah. It's fucked.
So
Not
do you
like
think if
chop
we?
is like slicing.
So
I don't know what it was. It was some fucking blade thing, but like
my
it
thing,
was in slow mo, and you could see the guy's face like as it was going.
so my
This
thing is,
herb.
we're the only generation that
Dude,
can
I
say
swear to
that,
God.
right?
Ain't no one
Like,
else fucking like.
everybody else was the internet wasn't crazy enough. Like it was, but it was all scams.
That's what
or
scares me about
viruses.
kids. Like obviously, like we grew up on that stuff, but it wasn't like obvious. I didn't start finding that shit until like at least 8th grade and up. You know what I mean? But like,
No,
bro,
like, we
if people
literally-
are on that type of shit when they're like 8, like I fear for these.
No, I
people.
feel like we literally grew up with it. Like we grew as
Right?
it grew.
Exactly.
You know,
They're
the
growing
next-
up with it at the peak.
The
At
TikTok
its current
kids.
state.
The
like,
TikTok kids, the
Like,
iPad
we're old
kids.
enough now.
We're
but
gonna-
Right?
They're
They're
gonna
not.
be so bad.
Like my attention span's definitely affected by my phone,
Oh yeah.
but I
100%.
feel like it's just so much worse.
I
Like
had enough good years.
This generation-
where I
like
was-
never
Bryce's
gonna
brother,
they're like,
brothers, both
they're
of them,
all gonna
like
figure out how to
just
create lives.
phone all the time. And I'm not saying I'm great about it, but they're like there's certain times that you just gotta know, like
Yo. Oh man. But the one that really got me and the one that made me like
Oh, I'm dead.
didn't even know if Tor was safe.
Sorry.
He clicked it.
again, not we.
And it's hard to describe because the website wasn't like it looked like a shitty Flash player. But like first off, you like load the website, it's like VPN check. It was like, is this your location?
Should I
Like
get
if it is, it would like it said turn off and like
So
like-
before you proceed,
Yeah.
change your shit because
Yeah.
you will be tracked to this
and
location
it's
right now.
like you're getting tracked right now. Is this your location? If not, you are good to go. If it is, like turn off your computer
It's fine.
completely and wait 24 hours. I'm like, what the fuck? We get in. It's like this group.
Not
place.
we.
Not we.
Yeah, not we. He gets in, and it's like these like there was like
Learn your
4
pronouns, bro.
pictures of like carousels, right? And like there was 0 out of 8, and the other ones 8 out of 8, 8 out of 8, and they're like grayed out. And there was 1, and it was 4 out of 8. So we clicked that one, and then we just waited for like 10 minutes, and it kept saying show's gonna start. After that, it was like once there was 8 people, it was like we all were assigned a number. Each one was 1 through 8. You know. What
This
I mean?
is him telling the perspective. So every time you
Yeah.
say
Why
we,
you say-
it's
yeah.
from his perspective.
This is what I was.
This
there.
is him telling the story. So when he says we, he's talking as the other person.
Okay.
Anyways.
But I'm kind of building it up now. But it was just like an auction house. They're starting this bid, and
So the
I'm trying
auction
to
house,
remember-
so it's 8 people can auction at a time.
and it was for heavy amounts of drugs. Like I can't remember the first one, but it ended up selling for like $7,000 of Bitcoin at the time, and it was for
that was
like
the other
a
thing?
shit ton of fucking.
That's the other thing I think when we're talking about Tor, we should explain is that like Bitcoin definitely.
Oh hell no! It was not. It was a thing, but it wasn't like no one knew what it was. Like
But and the thing was is like if you were on Tor, you knew what Bitcoin
Yeah,
was.
exactly.
But if you weren't, that's why like every single
that was
boomer,
back when like
Every
people said
single boomer.
Bitcoin, and like you were like, oh, you do crimes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you do crimes.
like
If
our
you have a
friend when he
Bitcoin
said he
wallet,
had Bitcoin, we
there
were
was
like,
no reason to
how'd
have a
you do that?
Bitcoin back there
Oh,
except
for
for
all these things.
international paying with no trace. Like that was the only reason. That was what you had to use for this. And like I remember they sold off heroin next, which I don't remember how much, but it was like ended up being $13,000 for the auction.
I remember being in someone's
I'm
basement
just like Jesus Christ.
on Tor, not myself operating it, but just watching them do it because it was like, hey, look at this, right? Like I think that's a fair. In our generation, that was definitely a thing. Like if you had some cool internet shit, you
Right.
definitely show it to them. So like that would be one of the most obscure ones. So it would be the coolest to show, right? So like he goes ahead and he's like, hey, look at this, and it was literally just a list of like it was almost like it was like an index of different web pages, and it was labeled by different things. So it was like drugs, this, weapons, this, like, and so it had different links under each one. So drugs had this many links, and so like it basically indexed everything, and it was just literally anything you could ever look for that was fucked up was there, like
Yep.
videos,
Yep.
pictures, like
That website I was talking about, it ended up. Oh, gosh, I wish I
Buy
could remember it
things,
because
like-
it kind of blew up. I think it got shut down, obviously, but I remember because the person who I'm talking about sent me this article later on, like years later, about that site, and it was basically just a big organization to sell drugs. But the part that got me that I thought was interesting was that it was like a group of 10 to 16 people who would all pool together their resources and just sell them off one time on these auctions, like heavy amounts of coke, heroin, meth. It would have never be weed, but it was like shit, like you know what I mean, heavy amounts for like crazy amounts, and it ended up being like those 10 to 16 people all were like high-ranking officers just taking shit from evidence lockers and selling that off. That's how they would get like the heroin or the meth or the coke. I was like, damn.
That's
Why
smart.
isn't there a documentary on?
That's what I'm saying.
Like one that blew up like on fucking Netflix about tour.
Something like, I don't know, probably people, because once you start like realizing what goes down, it's a lot harder to accept. You know what I mean? Like if you ever watch like the "Don't Fuck with Cats" thing, like that's one.
I
good
watched
example.
that.
Me too.
There's this really good example of a documentary. It's called Tickled. Tickled is so good. It's on Hulu, I think. And what it's so this documentary, it's about this one specific person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you able to wrap this up in that amount of time?
I am.
Okay.
Because it's not too crazy. I don't give too much of fucks about it, but it is interesting.
Okay.
So, this one guy basically has this fetish of watching people get tickled against their will. It's real fucked up.
That's so fucked up.
It's
But
very weird.
What gets me, bro, is like they'll fuck with these people. So they'll get this one person. They're like, "What do I gotta do?" It's like, okay, you just sit on camera and you get tickled for 30 minutes and you get $100. It's like, okay, you know what I mean? They're like, okay, and it's usually they go after these college people. Well,
People that need money.
they don't know that it's being recorded most of the time, and what they'll end up doing is like they'll come back, you know what I mean? They'll do it for like 6 times or some shit, and they made like $1,000 off it or something. They're like, yo, we want you to do this, but like without any clothes on. You get paid $1,000. And they're like, no clothes on? Well, you can keep your underwear on. Okay. You know what I mean? And then this is at the point where if some people, they know if it's getting recorded, they're like, no, I'm not doing that. You know what I mean? But like okay, they just keep going with people. Let's say they got them.
Get blackmailed.
They start blackmailing the fuck out of them.
Man.
Because most of them are students. They're going like, hey, we're gonna go to your school board. You're gonna get dropped. You're gonna lose your scholarships if you don't keep doing this shit. And then like keeps going further and further. You know what I mean? And some people are like, no, fuck this. And then they end up getting kicked out. One of the students, they're like, yeah, the school didn't want to be associated with all this, even if you know what I mean. And it's just real dirt. But like, it's just crazy how fucked and tormented people are. Like, because this one sick fuck was like obsessed with not only having people tickle, but like they liked when they were getting tickled and they didn't want to be tickled and like had serious distress in their face. Mm-hmm. So like they would have them all be restrained. They would have the like, yo, like if you want to like get out, you can say a word type thing. But then it started getting more and more fucked up. They're gagged and shit, so they can't even say, you know what I mean, type shit. It's like, bro, hell no. What situation did you all get fucked up in to be tied down, getting tickled? You know, like fuck off. But that was crazy ass documentary. That was pretty good. I recommend that on Hulu. 7 out of 10.
Hulu's always got the weirdest documentaries.
Hulu does. Netflix has some pretty good ones. They both, Netflix and Hulu, have a really good one on the Fire Festival. They have different ones.
One, yeah.
I think the Netflix one is a little bit more dramatized, but it's still pretty good. But they also, like, they worked with one of the people who was there, you know what I mean, and was, like, running the event. So they have his aspect of it, which is pretty interesting. But the Hulu one's more like...
I feel like this is the most talked about
up
thing on your podcast.
The Firefest?
I think
it's so fascinating to me. It's so funny how much they got fucked over. It's so funny how poorly the managed event was.
It's so funny that
they all were expecting this festival.
On the scale of respect-wise,
none of the acts came.
Biggest lick that's been hit in a while.
Dude, for real. And it's crazy because if everything would have went off, it would have made so much money. Everyone would probably be wanting to go to Fire Festival still to this year. Because
if they would have done it once,
its own
they should have done it once and then done it twice.
Exclusive island type shit. Oh, all right, we gotta go to do an ad break. We'll be back to talk about more shit afterwards. Oh, my back. Oh, no. And we're back. So what are you guys more excited for? Sonic 2 or what was the other one I was just thinking of? Fuck.
I haven't seen Sonic 1.
Oh,
Caleb said it was
liked
good.
It
it's
was
actually
good.
I love that movie.
Are you happy that we fucking bust the balls of the
See,
designers?
I was someone who didn't
Yes.
mind the first one, but I like this one way better. You know what I mean?
It
So
was definitely
like,
the superior choice.
I'm fine with it. And like,
Why
Fuck,
would they
what was
not
the
go
movie
with
I
the
was gonna
Detective Pikachu route for? Like, it's just the best look.
What made them think that the first design was
Oh,
okay? And
I was gonna say Sonic 2 or Spider-Verse 2.
Spider-Verse 2
Oh,
for
yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
Spider-Verse
Right,
1.
right.
I was doing my list of Spider-Man movies,
Oh yeah,
and we ended up with Spider-Verse, or I ended up with Spider-Verse being
Spider-Verse would probably be very high.
my
if not-
top 3.
Yeah, it would.
It
Definitely
was because it was the newest one,
Tom Holland.
and then it was Tobey Maguire Spider-Man 2,
Mm-hmm.
and then Spider-Verse.
That's a fair order.
Oh wait, is that the new one?
And in February, it was top of the list.
Spider-Verse is the cartoon one.
Oh no.
You looked at me. You registered.
The February.
It was top of the list in February.
Nice. Fuck. What
Sonic 2. I haven't seen Sonic 1.
So those were pretty good movies, actually. I liked them a lot. I don't like Jim Carrey at all, like as a person. Well, no, as an actor. As a
Dr.
person,
Egg.
he's good. As a
Dr.
person,
Egg.
he's very depressing. But in the movie, yeah, he's Dr. Eggman, and he does it really good, actually. Like,
Really?
I thought it would turn me off of the movie, but I actually liked him playing that role. But Sonic 2, it's got Tails in it, which is awesome. It's got Knuckles,
Knuckles.
Idris Elba, which is gonna be pretty cool.
That two voices.
Yeah,
Knuckles.
let's go.
That's who voices Knuckles. Like what? Okay. Idris Elba.
Oh.
Heimdall.
It'll be cool. Oh, I don't know what you just said there, but that just reminded me of it. Do you see they're making a second movie of I Am Legend? That's
Yeah,
getting a sequel.
as Michael B. Jordan.
Michael B. Jordan and Will Smith are in it.
What?
Yeah,
He didn't blow himself up,
dude.
I don't
Right?
know.
I don't know what the fuck that's gonna even be about. I barely remember the movie except for the sad dog scene. So
Yeah.
maybe I need to
Yeah.
rewatch that. But
That's all As that soon as you
That's
said
a
Right.
good movie though.
I want you to know I've seen that movie so many times. I remember all of it. But as soon as you said sad dog part, my brain couldn't think of any other scene,
Yeah.
and you
Yeah.
made me watch it again.
Me too.
Yeah,
Right.
So thanks,
There you
bro.
go.
Right.
There you go.
pour one out for him because he won't be in the sequel.
That was a good dog. Yes.
Sam,
Oh man.
I told you I watched that movie. I hope that's a dog.
Shout out to
name.
It is Sam, yeah.
Okay, word, good.
Damn, I don't even remember
I was there too.
that.
We live together.
No, the movies I would always watch a lot were like anything with Seth Rogen. Like Pineapple
Yeah.
Express was like always. Observe and Report
Yeah.
was a lot. What else was Knocked Up was quite a bit. I feel
I
like.
like that one.
Any of what's I forget that producer's name. Something
What?
something. It's like something Jewish, but it's whoever. Like those cast of characters are always in the same movie. You know what I mean?
Oh.
Like
Harvey
usually
Weinstein.
Jonah Hill. Did you say Harvey Weinstein? I want to say it's like Evan Goldberg or something, but it's like if it's
That's
a Seth
pretty
Rogen,
Jewish name if it is.
Right. Like if it's a Seth Rogen movie, like half chances that Seth Rogen and that guy co-wrote it and they're co-producing it. Like it was like that for like Knocked Up, for like Superbad. That guy is the director of it. Fucking Pineapple
Oh, yeah,
Express.
super bad. Just
Superbad's
Awesome
fucking
movie.
fantastic. Top 10 movies all time. And this guy's
Comedy,
performance.
I think it's.
Top 10 movies all
I
time.
think
I've only
it's-
watched comedies, so that's
I
all
think.
that matters.
I think comedy-wise, I think it's my favorite comedy.
Bro, I don't watch scary movies. Some bitch showed me this scene from Final Destination, the roller coaster one. No. You know what I mean? I won't watch that type
They're
of
a
movie.
lot worse.
But like, exactly.
Your anxiety would be really
Bro,
high.
I don't need
I
that
don't
shit.
want-
I haven't
Uh-uh.
seen them.
I'm not paying to go
They're
fucking.
too
I've
much.
only seen the first one, and then I've seen bits and pieces on television because that's how bad those movies are. Is that they weren't that like old, and they were already on Fox during the day on
Yo,
Saturdays. Like the Final Destination.
I never
movies.
got why people like scary movies.
Okay,
That shit
so listen.
bothers me.
I had a best friend.
Why
that
would I
was scared
pay
for
to
a
go
really long
see
time.
this?
So
This-
Hereditary, that was an experience. Every time I watched it with people, that was the thing we all experienced together, and we can like tag each other in those memes now, and we can go ahead and like talk about like, oh, that scene from Hereditary, and like all have the same
Like,
goosebumps again.
This cool treehouse or this cool cabin. Let's all go.
I found this cabin to rent on the weekend on Airbnb or whatever.
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
It's the fucking treehouse.
Or like Midsummer was an experience.
That fucking movie isn't. See, okay, that movie I don't have the same feeling because it's just anxiety and there's nothing else.
Mm.
Hereditary, there was like
There's at least
anxiety,
a little fear.
but there was also like not just anxiety. Like there was fear. There was
Yeah.
like the whole, oh my god, these guys are family. Whereas
See, that's
like,
my thing is I don't like
Midsummer's-
horror or thriller. Like like Chucky and that shit.
Okay.
Like it's
I've never
scary to
seen
me,
Chucky.
but it's scary for a different
Can you
level.
understand
Thriller
the
is just
experience?
disturbing.
Can you understand the experience for like that big of a movie?
See, at least on those like horror movies, I can at least. I don't understand why people like them still, but there's weird.
See, I don't understand how people say that they're their favorite type of movie.
Right. Like I like seeing gore every now and then. Like
They really like action movies.
Just when
I
you
like
really want to go
action.
caveman,
or
you
like
just-
broken bones, like fucking pulling.
if Caleb was here,
Did
he
you watch
would
the
really
Chris Rock
appreciate
Saw
it.
movie?
I
No.
That movie was okay.
What movie?
So, see, here's my problem with most movies, and that's why I usually stick with comedies, is because most movies I find
He just gets disappointed.
so predictable and like cliche. Like,
Right.
bro, it's just stupid. Like,
And
and
we
at least
talked about Batman.
comedies aren't supposed to be
Batman?
like anything. Oh man,
Dustin
Should we?
was disappointed.
Oh man,
No,
but
I was
spoilers,
too.
but we're not gonna talk about it. We're
No
gonna talk about
spoilers.
it on the next episode,
right.
which will be from a while from now. So
In about
I
2
haven't
weeks.
seen Batman, so,
So
what
in
I'm
about
about
2
to say
weeks.
has nothing to apply with Batman. But I fucking hate shit. Like I'll just do the same fucking script, just different fucking skins. That's what movies are now.
well, bro,
See, that's not even what the
Hey,
problem with this
hang on.
Batman is. It's just
it's a very original movie.
what I felt
For
like.
Batman.
I felt
Yeah.
like when I was watching the first Suicide Squad, not the second one, the reboot, but the first one with Jared Leto.
Mm.
I don't know if like you had this, but when I was watching that movie, I was like, I don't know who the fuck this is for, except for people who don't know what like Suicide Squad is, and it's like just to market and sell these. You know what I mean? Like I was like, this movie's trash because this like Harley Quinn is never that big of a part of the Suicide Squad. They only had Harley Quinn in there because that would sell. You
And
know what
now
I mean?
she's part of it because it did sell.
Exactly. Like that shit's just so fucking stupid. And
they
there's a
all look
lot
like
of
Margot Robbie
scenes
now.
in this fucking Batman movie where I was like, what the fuck is this? Like, what is this? And I was like, is this a joke? And I'm like, no, this is the movie. Great. And like,
okay, but why did they kill off?
Whoa!
No, not Batman. Not in Batman. Not in
whoa,
Batman.
you can't come in hot like that.
Not in- okay, not in Batman.
What we talk about?
In the second Suicide, or technically the first Suicide Squad.
Yes.
They killed off so many people that were.
Yes, that's the whole
Okay,
point of the
alright,
Suicide Squad. In the comics, the Suicide Squad is
Scared
a
me.
overlasting like roster of people
It
because
changes
most
all the
people are
time.
dying before the end of the mission. They're showing off how ruthless Waller is because they're literally there because they're expendable. They are prisoners already. You know what I mean? They've been caught do some
Social
crimes.
commentary.
They're doing like these missions for the government at the threat of like, if you don't do it, you're gonna die. If you do it successfully, you get time reduced off your sentence.
So you're
Instead
still
of
in
8
jail.
life sentences, you might serve 6 now. And it's usually never no one gets free because that's how Waller
They
runs.
die at one point in the rotation.
Oh, okay.
And so like very
well,
few
they all
characters.
live, so that.
But that's why
probably-
there are so many of like just one-off characters that you don't, you know what I mean? Like, oh, here's some.
I didn't like how they advertised the actors of those one-off.
Is that
characters
funny?
as-
Like
it
Pete
was,
Davidson?
It's funny now,
right?
but
Like,
I'm saying when I was watching the movie, I was pissed. If I'm
Mhm.
being honest, I was
Yeah,
like,
when I
watch-
saw him in there, I thought that was weird.
well, like just
Who?
any of the
Pete
actors.
Davidson.
well, he did it last. He was in there
I
for
know
like
he
less than
did,
10
but-
minutes.
When
I just
all
thought it
of
was
the
weird.
actors that they were like, these are some of the characters
Yeah.
you'll see,
Mm-hmm.
all died right away.
Right.
I was just like,
That's
damn.
what they marketed their whole fucking movie
Damn.
on. All these
Yeah.
actors in the movie.
I know, and I was just like,
See, I liked it when I was there,
Hmm.
like at that point, because I was like, hell. You know what I mean? I'm like,
and then I don't like what they did with the show.
one thing I always hate is like when I'm watching a movie and I'm like, hey, this person's in danger right now.
From
They
what
may
I've seen.
die, but I know in the trailer there's a part I haven't seen yet with them in there, so they're not gonna die here. They're definitely alive till that scene. You know what I'm saying? So it's like that's the type of shit I hate. So I'm glad they just like everything you knew is nothing. Everyone's dead. No one's safe. You know?
Okay, so you like that because you hate predictability.
I do.
Okay.
And
That
I
makes
hate
sense.
parts in trailers where it just spoils shit. So like
That's
what I'm saying. So like
oh my god.
when you have
Marvel,
I'm
glad
glad
they
confirmation
cut back.
of someone living because you see them further in a scene, it's just like. But yeah, Marvel's really good at it now. They're straight up removing people, removing effects even.
Before they were so bad.
I feel like that's why they gotten better because they know, you know what I mean. They went through it.
And they really sudden or like I don't
Everybody
know.
watch The Boys.
Yes.
I've seen
have.
No.
oh,
You haven't?
Okay.
What?
Okay, but you like it?
Yeah.
Well, I wasn't even gonna talk about The Boys. I was just gonna say there's
It's
a new
wild.
show. There's a show on Amazon that just came out called
Boys Diabolical.
Yeah. You know about it?
Yeah.
It's animated and it's an anthology series. It's just about random shit
And
each
the
episode.
characters are different.
But I've heard it's really good.
I want to watch
I was gonna see if anyone's seen it or heard of it.
Does everyone watch Euphoria?
Hey,
No, I know. I'm not gonna say anything.
I want to, but I haven't started.
I don't
I
think
watched
it's that
it.
worth it.
But you know we've talked about this. Like you know the ending, and that's why you haven't seen it.
It's
Or you
made
know
me
bits
not
and
want to
pieces,
watch it. It's
right.
made me not want to watch it longer. Like I would have probably watched it sooner if I didn't have that season spoiled, and they would have gone ahead and just been like, "It's crazy good." I would have been like, "Okay, time to watch it then."
Okay, well I'm sorry guys, but I don't think I should bring it up. But this is really pissing me off. I learned about I know a spoiler that I don't want to say because I don't know
Okay.
if you know, and I
For
just
Euphoria?
yeah, and
You
I
haven't
just
finished it?
saw that person talking about how the spoiler might be, oh, he might not actually be this, he might be this. But you don't get to know for 2 years because it was after the season finale.
So even you like not being finished now
Yeah.
know.
So I wish I didn't see this spoiler today, I guess.
See, okay, fine. You know, I don't think we talked about it on the podcast. We just talked about it when we were hanging out last time.
Mhm.
The fucking spoilers, bro.
Yes.
Yeah, it's been a problem.
It has
That show was crazy for spoilers.
It's
but-
a real shower about. I don't know what it's a shower about, but it's a show about something.
Right.
Like,
It became a lot of like memes.
funny. Yeah, exactly. It showed how like memes could very easily just like we memed so hard, and so since Euphoria was the biggest thing, we memed Euphoria so hard that we weren't even memeing. We were just showing scenes of from the show, just
I don't
on
even
TikTok,
know why that
on Facebook, on Instagram, just scenes from the fucking new episode that
Right.
just came out. I'm like, that's so fucking insane.
Imagine if there was clips
glad
of a
I'm not
Marvel
watching
movie
it.
like that, like
That's what I'm saying. Like,
bro, or Star Wars. If I would have seen fucking Han Solo die because of a TikTok, I would have fucking
Oh
broke my
my
phone
God.
down.
Oh.
Yeah, fair.
Nah, fuck
Fair.
that. Fuck that trilogy. Fuck those
That
movies.
movie
bro.
came out so long
You know what's
ago.
funny about that?
Right, they
Dustin?
came out
Hey,
years
you know what's
ago.
funny about that?
What?
I was in lunch with a Keith Aaron.
Oh hell.
And I about
No.
middle. I'm sorry, that's a bad habit. But anyways, with a Keith, and you want to know what happened at the end of lunch when we were all
Yeah.
waiting at the door to go to class? Everybody going towards the Snyder hallway. Everybody going that way. Heard. Kylo Ren kills Han Solo, and I'm like, "There's no way,
Dude.
that just got screamed in my ear."
I
right
swear
now.
to God.
Like,
I remember day 2 of Fallout 4 coming out. He went down the hall screaming that nigga that. I was like, you're a fucking dick, bro. How are you even beating that game yet? Like, I'm over here grinding. I'm like 28% done. And he's over here telling me the ending. I was like, nah, that ain't real. And like the whole game is shaping up to what he said. I'm like, fuck you, Keith.
I had a Keith blocked on Facebook for a long time, like many years, and I didn't know it because of around the Star Wars time.
Oh, man.
The next Star Wars movie was coming out, and I remember he fucked me over for the first one. So
I started going with
it.
them for movies because of that. I was like, well, at least if I'm here, I can't get hurt. Like, oh, man. The Star Wars was bad, but fuck those movies. I'm excited for the new trilogy. Mandalorian makes it go in a good direction. Book of Boba Fett's pretty good.
I haven't seen all of Boba Fett.
Neither have I. I'm like
But
2 episodes left, I think. But
Mandalorian was so
We're
solid.
like 2 in.
it's a solid
Oh,
show.
you watched an episode without me, didn't you?
Yeah, we were only 1 in, and you said 2 for us, so that's pretty goofy. Anyways.
You said you watched one without me.
Yes, and we only had seen 1.
So you're 2 in.
Yes. Are you 2 in?
No.
Then why'd you say we're 2 in?
As I thought.
And then made a point of it.
Because I thought we were. I thought we'd only watched. Oh, just
It's
never
crazy
mind.
how we're arguing
Never
as a couple
mind.
on the podcast.
No, just be quiet.
Do you think there's gonna be like if we do enough of these, there's gonna be a compilation of every time Connor and Bryce argue?
Oh man.
If we get big enough, you know they do that type of thing on
Yep.
podcasts for YouTube. Like I've seen every
There'll be an edit of how many
every
times
Uncle
they said, what the fuck
Joey
you
on
talking about?
every Uncle Joey moment on Joe Rogan.
How many times did they stop the podcast to order pizza?
All of all of DWD's podcasts on one video, so it's super long. But every time they talk about pizza, it speeds up. So it's actually only 6 minutes long.
Right? It starts off though pretty long. You gotta hang in
You're
there.
like, damn, this is gonna be a long fucking video, and then it says pizza 2 times in a row, and it's
And
done.
then it's just done.
It just
We got the
in
same
general.
sentence. Wait, someone say pizza? That's not my fucking pizza. Oh,
But there was an episode where right before
I literally said. I was like, all right, everyone, please don't talk about food. Like 10 minutes in, Jerry's like, so when are we gonna order pizza? I'm like, man.
We were supposed to order before we started.
and so we were going to the commercial break. I remember we said pizza like 8 times because we were like, so but for the commercial break, are we gonna get pizza or oh, I don't want to get pizza. Stop fucking talking about pizza. I don't want to hear about pizza ever again. And so like this would be the part of the video where it's over.
Oh, man.
How much longer we got?
Like 15 minutes.
Yeah, no, I was worried that the conversation we were just having wasn't gonna ride out.
About pizza?
Well-
No.
I mean, you can
No.
only say so much
About what?
pizza.
Yeah.
Well, I just went to the Dells. We could talk about that, I guess.
Oh yeah, that was.
Did you get pizza?
Look, it's
Yes.
We
just.
did. It was okay.
It was okay.
We went to the Dells one time. We got pizza and it was good. I can't remember what the
We
place is
went-
called. It was really good though.
I want to go back to the Dells. I
Was
would
it the
think.
place that like you fucking
Well, we had
Like
to. You
Subway
would have
do
to
it?
go in the summertime because more things are open
What?
and
like you ordered to
But it's
made
for
to where it's
kids.
made to order? I mean,
In the room? To your room?
oh no, like I went to a fire fucking stove. What is that called? I don't know.
Like a brick oven stove or something?
Yeah,
That's the word.
They usually have pretty good pizza at those type of places. You could tell they take
There's
the
the
pizza
one in
serious.
town.
yeah. That
it was like
shit's good.
Italian
Town.
pizza. We were
Yeah,
eating Italian.
Luigi's. Isn't that a thing?
Oh.
Luigi's Wood Fire.
My brother's family
I'll
owns
pull it
that.
up so I can shout them out.
I don't know. I might have to stop in.
I really want to go sometime. Hey,
They're probably closed.
If
They have
you're
a
listening,
s'mores,
right?
They have a s'mores pizza. It is so
like
good.
it's a dessert pizza.
Yes.
That's nice.
S'mores pizza from what's that one place called? Papa Murphy's. That is pretty
Ooh.
fire. Papa
RIP.
Murphy's was pretty gas actually.
It was. Wait, is that the one that's closed or?
I think it's open by Dunkin'
We-
Donuts or
Okay,
Domino's.
so what was the
Oh
other
yeah,
one?
but those
though?
are pre.
Papa John's.
Papa John's is
wasn't
fucking
bad, but
gas.
you know,
I never was here for a Papa John's.
but he was a little.
What was he
little
doing?
Isn't he the super? Isn't Papa John super racist? Is that
Oh,
we found out? And
yeah,
he's still alive,
well-
so like it's a problem.
See, okay, well here's the thing about that.
Shout out Dell's Pizza Lab.
I don't know.
I think that was the place. Yeah.
What, Dell's Pizza Lab?
Yeah, that's the place I went to. It's fucking
No, we're
delicious.
talking about Papa John's.
I don't give a fuck.
Well, he said the N word in a conference call
It
or
was a
something,
conference call, yeah.
and it got leaked. And I can't remember the exact wording of it, but it wasn't. I don't know. It was one of those cases where I don't think like he should have got canceled by it, if that makes sense.
Like,
you know
it was
what I
like
mean?
an old time type of thing.
No,
not
it
like
was.
a-
It wasn't even like that. It was something along
He was
the
like
lines.
singing a song and you just said
No,
the word.
it was
What's
like-
it? What's okay? When's it okay for a white person to say the word? Dustin, careful.
It was something along the lines of like statements such as these are not like acceptable in the workplace. You know what I mean? It was in a really weird context.
So it was just in a.
But
it was
here's the thing. He in another interview, he was like,
Dustin.
this call wasn't. It was something that I was handed, like the script I was going over and stuff.
Fuck.
And like
Someone okayed it.
He thinks it was done as for a hostile takeover because immediately afterwards the call was leaked, which it was a personal private board conference. Anyways, it's like, how was that leaked in the first place?
Yeah. Who's got
And
phone
then-
taps for Papa John's fucking headquarters?
Exactly. And then after that, they quickly shipped him out of being the CEO of the company and then took him down. You know what I mean? And so, like, it's interesting. I don't know
It
if I
is
believe,
weird.
like, he was set
It
up
is
like
weird.
it. But it's like, even the context, it's not like, okay, there's this one, oh, man, I wish I could find this. But, okay, so it's this executive. He just got banned, or not banned. He got, like, fired from his job because on an Instagram he shared this meme. And it was really fucking stupid. But it was Big Bird and this one other Muppet. The Chingy one? Is that it? Dude. So it was like, my nigga Snuffle, you got like COVID at a Chingy concert. And that was it. And he posted that on his main account and he's like a fucking 10 million followers. And like he got fired immediately. And like he was like, I'm
Oh
sorry.
my god.
He took it back and he was like,
salary like hundreds.
it was
of
$3
thousands
million
of
a year. Is what he was getting. And like,
Oh
it's just like, bro. And like, I can't imagine, like,
He shared a meme, bro.
he was like, I didn't read it, but like, that's hard to believe because this meme has 6 words on it.
So
So
it was
it's
like
like,
Sesame Street like style, so it's big.
yeah,
fucking-
it was the only thing on there. You
Kids
can't
can
say
read
you
text.
didn't see it. Like, that's a stretch. But that shit's crazy. But then you get like people who are like saying shit like hatred wise, and
Well,
there's a difference. You know what I'm saying? Like, there are people who
I was gonna
definitely.
say, I share memes on Facebook.
I'm not saying this person doesn't deserve to get fired
Let's
because,
say-
like, how can you be an executive of a company if you don't even know how to run your Instagram? But, like, if he's going to say, like, I just thought it was funny, bro, you know what I mean? I'm like, all right.
I was
That
gonna
was
say like
stupid, but.
I was gonna say, like,
alright.
I share memes on Facebook that have that word in it and are in first
Right.
perspective, but it's not me saying it. Same thing for that guy in that situation, and he's getting a net loss of $3 million.
But it's just
a
like
year.
that's a different situation, obviously. But it's just crazy. Like, cancel culture's at a whole extreme. But it's like the people getting offended aren't people like, you know what I mean, of that marginalized group. Like, it's the same with every type of thing right now. Like, people get in trouble because they say something they're not supposed to around the LGBTQ community, and it's like it's not those people who are offended off of it. It's people taking it on their behalf to be offended for other people. And that's when I think it's like, what? Because then you can't just have everyone getting offended for no reason because, you know what I mean? It muddies what other people are actually offended by. And then all values become just jokes because that's how we're making it. Like, I don't know. It's some dumb shit.
No, it was pretty smart, Dusty. Pretty smart.
We ain't got that much time,
I was
so we
gonna
can just
say.
wrap it up here unless Drayton wants to freestyle.
Drayton freestyles?
No, bro,
Let's
no.
freestyle. It'll be fun.
You want to freestyle? Just one little freestyle. It's been a minute.
It's been a hot fucking minute.
We're going to save it for next episode.
You said
Yeah.
that last time.
Next
Bum,
episode,
bum,
exclusive.
Next episode, there will be a freestyle. That's a promise.
I've been listening to more.
Me too. I listen to freestyle beats every day.
We should do it on the next episode sample.
That'd be cool.
Da-da-da-da-da. It's the motherfucking
But that's-
DRAYTON.
See, the thing about that, I've tried instrumentals, and it's really hard, at least for me, to,
Go with your own.
yeah, like,
Yeah, I've been there.
just because, like, obviously you hear the song playing, like, the original, so then you think
Your
of the
verse
song.
just wants to go there.
What we got?
You're gonna get demonetized.
Nobody cares. Nobody this far in the episode. No way. DWD. Stay getting high every day. Oh, damn. See, I don't even know what this instrument sounds like. You know, like we got the Snoop Dogg ad-libs.
Whoa, what?
Oh,
What? That's right. Hang on, that's not.
And my other thing is, like, LA, California beats like this are always slower, and I don't know how to rap over slower beats. No, that's enough.
That's fucking
Oh, man. Right in front of the mic. But next episode, get a taste of the bars we got cooking. 2 week bait. I don't know. But, not RIP Dom. Shout out Dom. he couldn't be here tonight. He wanted to. Shout out Caleb. Same story. Different bitch.
What?
You know. Peace out. Stay soft. Stay dry.
Bye.
Oh no.